England, a land of ancient history, whispered legends, and churches where the dead refuse to rest. From shadowy figures to unholy rituals, these sacred grounds hold secrets darker than the night itself. Tonight, we unveil the 10 most haunted churches in England, but be warned, some spirits don't like to be disturbed. First Street Mary's Church, Clophill, Bedfordshire. Perched on a lonely hill, the ruins of St. Mary's Church stand as a grim reminder of its sinister past. By day, it's merely an abandoned shell, but when night falls, the true horror awakens. In the 1960s, dark rituals were said to have taken place here. Graves desecrated, bones scattered, and symbols of the occult etched into the stone. Witnesses speak of shadowy figures moving among the broken tombstones, whispers floating on the wind, and an unholy presence that chills the air. Some say a demonic entity lurks in the ruins, its red eyes flickering in the darkness. Others have heard blood-curdling screams echo through the trees, vanishing as suddenly as they came. But the most terrifying legend? The ghostly procession of hooded figures seen gliding through the churchyard under the full moon, silent, watching, waiting. Would you dare step into the ruins after midnight? Many have tried. Not all have left unscathed. Second Street Nicholas Church, Pluckley, Kent. Deep in the heart of England's most haunted village stands St. Nicholas Church, an ancient place where the dead refuse to rest. As twilight descends, a strange mist coils around the gravestones, and the air turns deathly still. Locals speak in hushed tones of the Red Lady, a spectral figure draped in blood-red robes, wandering the churchyard in search of her lost child. Some have seen her weeping beneath the yew trees, her sorrowful cries piercing the silence of the night. Others have reported shadowy figures flickering near the altar, only to vanish when approached. But the most chilling tale? The ghostly footsteps that echo through the empty church, slow and deliberate, growing closer, until they stop, right behind you. Many have entered St. Nicholas Church after dark. Few have stayed long enough to discover what truly haunts its sacred grounds. Third Street Botolph's Church, Skidbrook, Lincolnshire. Isolated, abandoned, and cursed, St. Botolph's Church, known as the Demon Church, stands in eerie silence, surrounded by desolate marshland. Its crumbling walls have witnessed centuries of darkness, but the true terror began when whispers of satanic rituals surfaced. Visitors report unseen hands touching them, chilling whispers slithering through the air, and a deep, guttural growl that comes from nowhere and everywhere. Paranormal investigators have captured shadowy figures lurking near the altar, their glowing eyes piercing the darkness. Some have seen cloaked entities standing in the doorway, blocking the only escape. But the most terrifying experience? The sudden, paralyzing fear that washes over those who stay too long, as if something ancient, something malevolent, is watching, waiting, ready to claim another soul. Enter if you dare, but beware, once inside, you may never be alone again. Fourth Street Mary's Church, Whitby, North Yorkshire. Perched high on the cliffs overlooking the restless sea, St. Mary's Church watches over Whitby like a silent guardian. But within its ancient walls, something stirs, something not of this world. As the wind howls through the gravestones, mist creeps in from the ocean, shrouding the churchyard in an otherworldly veil. Locals speak of the White Lady, a ghostly figure seen drifting between the crumbling tombs, her hollow eyes searching. For what, no one knows. Some claim she was a bride, lost to the waves on her wedding night, forever cursed to roam these grounds. Others tell of eerie whispers rising from the graves, voices calling out in the dead of night. And then there's the shadow, a dark presence lurking inside the church, moving just beyond sight, waiting in the silence. Dare to visit St. Mary's after dark, and you may find yourself watched by something unseen. something that does not want you to leave. 5th Street Andrews Church, Boxley, Kent. In the dead of night, when the world is silent, St. Andrew's Church comes alive with whispers from the past. This ancient church hides a secret, an eerie presence that lingers within its walls. The most chilling tale revolves around the haunted rood screen, a wooden barrier that separates the altar from the congregation. It is said to move on its own, shifting ever so slightly, as if guided by unseen hands. Visitors have reported feeling watched, their skin crawling with an inexplicable dread. Ghostly monks, their faces obscured by dark hoods, have been seen gliding through the aisles, only to vanish into the shadows. Some have even heard soft chanting, low, rhythmic, and unholy, echoing through the empty halls. But the most terrifying moment comes when the church bell tolls, on its own, in the dead of night. Is it a warning or a summons? Only those brave enough to enter will ever know. 6th Street Mary the Virgin, Maldon, Essex. There is something deeply unsettling about St. Mary the Virgin Church. By day it stands as a place of worship, but by night it becomes a realm of shadows, where the past refuses to die. A lone phantom monk, shrouded in darkness, is often seen pacing through the nave, his face hidden beneath his hood. Witnesses describe the chilling sensation of unseen eyes watching them, of whispered prayers drifting through the cold air when no one is there. The temperature drops suddenly, breath visible even in summer, and footsteps echo where no feet should tread. Some say the monk is bound to the church, doomed to wander for eternity. Others believe he guards a terrible secret, one that should never be uncovered. But the most terrifying of all? Those who stare too long into the darkness of the church claim to see something staring back. Will you be the next to feel its gaze? 7. Holy Trinity Church, Blythburgh, Suffolk. A storm rages over Blythburgh. Thunder shakes the earth. Lightning splits the sky. And in the heart of it all stands Holy Trinity Church, silent, waiting. In 1577, during a violent storm, the villagers sought refuge inside, praying for salvation. But something else arrived that night. A monstrous black hound, known as Black Shuck, crashed through the church doors, its fiery eyes burning with malice. It tore through the congregation, leaving behind claw marks scorched into the wood, marks that remain to this day. Some say the beast was the devil himself. Others believe its spirit still roams the church, a shadow moving just beyond the candlelight. Many who step inside speak of an oppressive force, a suffocating dread, as if unseen claws still reach for them. And if, on a stormy night, you hear the sound of heavy paws on the stone floor, run, before Black Shuck finds you too. St. Mary's Church, Prestbury, Gloucestershire. Time stands still in St. Mary's Church, but something moves in the shadows. This ancient church, nestled in the haunted village of Prestbury, is home to one of England's most infamous spirits, the Black Abbot. He appears as dusk falls, his dark robes billowing as he glides silently through the graveyard. Some have seen him kneeling at the altar, his head bowed in eternal prayer. Others have felt his cold presence beside them, only to turn and find nothing but empty air. But the most terrifying moment comes on Christmas Eve, Easter, and All Hallows Eve, when he emerges from the darkness, crossing the churchyard before vanishing into the stone walls. Some believe he is searching for redemption. Others claim he guards a terrible secret buried beneath the church. But one thing is certain. If you see the Black Abbot, he has already seen you, and he never walks alone. Nuntestrasse James's Church, Thornton, Lancashire. Beneath the cold grey skies of Lancashire stands St. James's Church, a place where the past clings like a shadow. But within these sacred walls, something unnatural lingers. The villagers whisper of a ghostly figure that roams the churchyard, a man in tattered robes, his head missing from his shoulders. Some say he was a priest executed during the Reformation, his spirit now doomed to wander in search of his severed head. Others have seen his decapitated form standing at the pulpit, as if delivering a sermon to an invisible congregation. On still nights, a chilling wind sweeps through the pews, carrying with it an eerie, guttural whisper, too faint to understand, yet too close to ignore. And if you hear footsteps approaching from behind, slow and uneven, don't turn around. By the time you do, it may already be too late. 10th Street, Paul's Church, Bristol. Abandoned and decaying, St. Paul's Church looms over the streets of Bristol like a forgotten relic, but something still lingers within its crumbling walls. At night, strange lights flicker behind the stained glass windows, casting eerie shadows that move when no one is there. Locals tell of ghostly figures seen pacing the empty pews, their faces blurred, their whispers just beyond comprehension. Some have heard the organ play a single, haunting note, long and mournful, though the keys remain untouched. The air inside is thick, suffocating, as if unseen hands are pressing against your chest. And then there's the bell, long since broken, yet it rings at midnight, its sound echoing through the empty halls. Is it a warning? A call? Or something far more sinister? No one knows for sure. But those who have stepped inside after dark all agree on one thing. Something in St. Paul's is watching, and it never blinks. The echoes of the past still haunt these churches, their spirits forever bound to the stones and shadows. Would you dare step inside and face what lurks in the darkness? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales from the beyond.